Hi viewers, welcome to the live streaming of the Africa Cup Hockey qualifiers for the World Cup, Junior World Cup. I'm Trevor Cormack.
And I am Kalembire Shupura, known as Pinky.
So we'll be commentating Kenya versus Namibia. We're live at the Davin Trusco Hockey Stadium. So we're just busy with the warm-ups. And then we'll go into the national anthems before the game starts.
If you're not sure where Davin Trusco Hockey Stadium is, it is right at the heart of Windhoek High School, just here. So if you want to come out and show out some support, you're more than welcome.
Yeah. And Pinky, there's been some interesting games. If we just have a look at the Kenya lineup. The team that you spoke to the Kenyan coach?
Yes, I did. So she said to definitely look out for her goalkeeper, Nasembu. She has a bit of experience. She's played before, although she did say that the rest of the team is fresh players. So there's something definitely to look for, and it is their first international game. So they're very, very excited to see what they will yield today.
Yeah, and historically Kenya have always been a factor in African hockey, so it will be an interesting game
definitely
today. All right, the Namibia lineup, of course, we're very au fait to this team. Captain Zayli Philander is also in the Namibia ladies team. So she'll be a strong factor in this game. Jasmine Cartwright, the goalkeeper, a really good young upcoming goalie.
Yeah.
So we're hoping she can keep a clean sheet today. And there's a couple of girls from the ladies squad that I know well, and then the new players that are playing for the first time at this level. Coach Cedric McCarthy, very confident that his team will qualify for this tournament, and looking at the lineup, I think
they have good potential.
Got a good chance,
yeah, definitely. Okay. So we're very excited. To all our viewers at home, I hope you're ready to be stuck to your screens today.
Yeah, and just to give you an update of the previous games, in the ladies section, Zimbabwe played Zambia early on this morning. This result was 8-1 in favor of Zimbabwe, a big score.
They dominated.
They really look good today out there. But I must say, Zambia sort of held out in the first chukka or two, and then they just succumbed to Zimbabwe's onslaught. So.
And Zimbabwe was definitely capitalizing on those penalty corners, definitely. Totally. So every single mistake Zambia made, Zimbabwe was on it.
Yeah, Zimbabwe looking very good. So far, a good result there.
Definitely.
Unfortunately, we had a bye early on this morning, the first game of the morning. Uganda haven't got to...
They haven't arrived yet.
Got to the party yet.
Yeah.
So, you'll see a 5-0 score in favor of South Africa by default, because Uganda has not arrived yet.
And then we had Zimbabwe versus Kenya, men. That was a very, very, would you say, difficult match. They were on the same level.
Totally on the same level, yeah. A really good game to watch, but it could have gone either way.
Definitely.
I think it was really neither of the teams taking the opportunity of putting the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, definitely.
So, a good result, I think, for both, but really tough. South Africa, Zambia will be playing a bit later. That's the men, eh?
Yeah.
But at 3 o'clock, this is the game that will be commentated, Kenya versus Namibia, and then at 5 o'clock, Egypt men will take on the
Namibian men. Yeah.
That should be a good game as well. All right, so the whistle's gone for the teams to come off of the pitch for the finish off on their warm-ups. And I think they'll be getting ready for the national anthems. So, Binks, where do you think the score is going to go today? Without being biased, of course.
I don't want to be biased, but sorry. I'm definitely leaning towards Namibia on this one, but because we have a few really strong players. Yeah. But I definitely also think Kenya did not just come to participate. I think they're gonna fight.
Yeah.
So it's definitely exciting. I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's a battle of the North versus the South, and
Exactly.
yeah, we can't be too biased towards Namibia, although we know them.
Yeah.
I think the fact is that we haven't watched Kenya play yet. You know, I don't think
Exactly.
they had any friendly games even.
Mm.
So they will be a unknown force in this game, but never write off any team at this level. I
Ever.
think, yeah.
Definitely, because anything can change in hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, weather-wise, a scorching day today, a great day for hockey, but I think later on it will take its toll on the players. But really, really a really nice day today for a good
Yeah,
game
for
of
good.
hockey.
Sun is out, clouds are blue, the field is ready. We're very, very excited. We're anticipating a very, very exciting game here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The spectators slowly but surely coming into the Astro area.
Yeah, I see that some Namibian supporters are here to show out for the girls,
Yeah.
and definitely the Kenyan boys will be backing their girls. So the energy is there. The energy is definitely there.
All right, the two umpires have gone out to the middle of the field. From South Africa, we have Maria Lee Swart.
And from Malaysia, we have Johari Shahila.
Awesome to have, umpires and technical officials from outside of Africa.
Yeah. It's definitely neutral. It's going to be a very neutral game when it comes to the umpiring. So, yeah, we won't really be expecting any bias from that side.
All right, we're going to go into the national anthems now.
The girls are pumped up. They're ready. They're passionate.
So
The
good,
energy is on, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. So I had a look at some statistics for this game. We've never played Kenya at this level before, so there's no statistics, no history, who could get the upper edge. So, yeah, they're going head-to-head from a clean slate.
Yeah.
There's our captain, Zayli Philander, handing over their little tokens of appreciation.
Yeah.
And
Definitely one to look out for.
definitely.
But this is going to be a very exciting game. Like Trevor said, that it's a clean slate. There's no history between the two teams, so everybody's just going to want to show out and show what they can bring to the table today.
So as a coach, a very difficult game to coach, because you can't focus on the opposition, not really knowing them or having any stats. As I said, I don't think they've even played a friendly game, so you've got no footage to look at.
Exactly.
So Cedric will probably just be focusing on his plan, on his game plan, and what the Namibians can bring to the party. And as the game progresses, then he will have to action it.
So most probably after the second chaka, he'll be able to understand how the Kenyans play and see what he can do about it.
And make some changes or whatever needs to be done. Yeah. So all I know is historically Kenya as a hockey nation, very fit, very proud, very physical. So I hope Namibian girls are ready for
a fight,
for a real tough game.
Because the Kenyans look like they have heart. They're going to fight to the end.
Yeah,
so
historically that's the way they play. So.
Yeah.
Right, so we are a few seconds away from the start of the game.
You can see that on the Kenyan side, some of the girls look really young, but surely they do say dynamites come in small packages. So we were waiting to see what they can bring to the table since it's their first international game.
So there'll be a lot of nerves out there. First game for both teams, so they'll need to get the first chukka under the belt. We can expect probably a few mistakes to start with, as they start settling in. But I think whichever team can settle in quickest will get the upper edge.
Definitely.
All right, so the game has started.
You should see there Namibia has pole possession right now.
Yeah, and they're troughing at the back. He's got his two centre backs. He's trying to trough it wide. And Kenya are putting a light press on them, not giving them any room to move. And now Namibia attacks down the flank and it goes out, so Kenya get possession. Again, a key element of hockey is to keep the ball, keep possession for as long as you possibly can.
Definitely controlling the ball is definitely key in this game. You want to make sure your stick and the ball are always together.
Yeah, you keep possession, you own the game, you can do what you like. Try get out of this, out of your defense area into that last quarter.
Definitely.
So you can see Namibia putting a hard press on the opposition, and they're managing to get out of it.
There's Kenya pushing forward,
breaking through the midfield right now.
As we mentioned earlier, it's a clean slate, so Namibia cannot predict how Kenya is playing, so they're just trying to find their footing.
Yeah. So first set piece to Kenya. It's a long corner. It's another element of the North African style of hockey is to bash that ball into the circle,
straight inside.
Totally, to get at the risk that you get a foot or something out of it.
You see there now, Namibia is trying to come out from the back.
There you go. There's the long ball, trying to get it into that last quarter.
As you see, also. Sorry, Kenya is not giving Namibia room to breathe at all.
So that was a bypass out of the back instead of troughing, from player to player in the 4. They bypassed to the flank. And yeah, for the first time, Namibia get into that last quarter where they can now put a lot of pressure on Kenya.
Definitely.
And try to turn the ball over to get an opportunity.
Yeah.
There's the pressure from Namibia on the player with the ball.
See if Kenya can get out of.
There they go, yeah. That hard hit out of there.
See there, it's a foul,
yeah.
and it's Kenya's ball.
Broken down in the midfield, so Kenya still have possession. Playing it wide. And now turned over by Namibia. So Namibia on the break into that last quarter.
Oh, Kenya was there to intercept it.
Another turnover. Now Namibia needs to hold the ball. Marlene gets it in. Another turnover by Kenya. Yeah, good clearance there from Kenya. And there's some nice patience getting the ball out and running it down the halfway.
As you can see, maybe you haven't observed, I see Kenya is very, very confident in their circle. Calm.
Very patient.
Yeah, they're not panicking at all. It's always beautiful to see.
Yeah. Well, there's confidence by Namibia to dribble the ball out from the back. And again, playing it wide to try get it down that flank. Turned over by Kenya, playing it through the middle. Not such a great idea. Yeah. Now it's turned over.
Namibia has an opportunity to score. Oh.
Lucky off the keeper, long corner to Namibia.
That's the closest Namibia has gotten to the goal box.
It's nice to see Namibia attacking.
Yes.
Not holding a half court or defending, but taking it to Kenya, which is a good tactic.
Definitely beautiful to see.
Best form of defense is attack.
Attack. Always be ready to attack.
All right, so again Namibia just troughing at the back, very confident with their play there.
There's a
turnover. Yeah, intercepted by Kenya, but won the ball back. Again, nice play, inside, outside. That's just typical, textbook hockey.
Yeah.
They're deep into the last quarter, turned over, but a foul and a quick self-play, which is good. Attacking that circle, trying to get a penalty corner, but no. Kenya defending hard there.
No, Kenya definitely is holding down its circle. The patience and the confidence that you're seeing in these young girls is amazing.
Well, there you go. First penalty corner of the game to Namibia.
We will see if they will be able to capitalize on this opportunity.
Yeah. Such an important thing in hockey is that penalty corner, to take advantage of them when you get it. So I've been watching the Namibian girls have been practicing their set piece quite hard. They've got some really good players in their set piece.
Yeah.
Mareka Neerthling plays for the Namibia ladies, will be pushing out. We've got a double castle, so now it's to guess which castle gets it and
gets the ball. Yeah.
So Mareka's going to push out. Went for the straight hit
and
just going slightly wide of the goals. Must have taken a deflection because it seems like it's another long corner.
Yeah, I think it deflected off the goalkeeper. It's a long corner for Namibia.
Umpire's called time. The goalie has to fix her kit a little bit. So we have Mareka Neerthling on the ball. Mareka matriculated last year. She was playing in South Africa, went to schooling in South Africa and played for Paul Gym.
Wow.
Yeah, one of the top schools in South African schools hockey. And now she's studied first year at Northwest, in Potch.
Wow.
So, really nice player to have in your under-21 team.
Definitely, because she has to be bringing a different element of skills as well.
And experience.
Yeah. See, there must have been something wrong with the goalkeeper's helmet. They had to switch it out.
Goalies tend to do this a lot under pressure. Sometimes it's even a tactic for them to do that to slow the play down.
Definitely. I will confess myself as a goalkeeper.
I rest my case.
It's a trick up the sleeve, hey?
Yeah.
Just to get your people to get a breath in.
Yeah, and to break the pressure of the play, you know. So
Definitely.
not a bad tactic, yeah.
It's always a good play.
Yeah. And goalies are a different animal, hey?
Different breed.
Yeah, totally.
There you go. Kenya has ball possession. Seems to be Namibia's ball. Namibia is now taking the ball.
All right, there we're going. First overhead of the game, thrown into that last quarter. Really good, turned over by Kenya. Again, a great technique to use, but you need to use it wisely. You know, I think sometimes we overdo the overhead.
Definitely.
You know, you want to still keep possession, but a really good technique. If you've got players that can throw, you know, that long ball and over the press, then it really benefits.
Yeah. Then Namibia has the ball in the circle. Kenya is right there to save it.
So Namibia really putting pressure on Kenya in that last quarter, just not getting outcomes. You know,
yeah.
They got a PC out of the one, but they got to start, you know, taking shots or forcing the PC.
Definitely, because you don't want to get in the circle and you're not capitalizing on the opportunity.
So the ball turned over again by Kenya, which means Namibia now has to restructure and try to get the ball back. Yeah.
Another turnover there. Namibia's ball.
So nice play. Namibia looking at switching the ball around the back, but Kenya are putting a lot of pressure on our centre backs. Mila Malan and who's that little Fari?
As you can see on the screen there, we have ball possession percentages. Kenya has 41% and Namibia has 59% ball possession. So you can see a little bit Namibia is picking up their confidence and pushing.
Yeah, they have the upper hand on possession. They just need to turn that over into outcomes.
Goal, yeah. Another ball directly into the Kenyan circle. And it's a foul there for Kenya.
Kenya really battling to get the ball out of their 16. Namibia really putting pressure on. So they're resorting now to the big hit, you know, to try and gain a bit of ground.
Yeah.
Which is always a good thing, but also a bad thing. You know, if it's turned over, it's not an advantage.
Because you never really know where it's going to land.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will have to say for Kenya, having majority of their players new and this being their first international game, they are holding up very well. Turned over there by Namibia.
So I think at this stage the problem I see as a coach is that we don't really have a team that's dominating midfield. You know, they're holding their own and defending well, but they're not getting the ball into that midfield area and owning it. You know.
Yeah.
And both teams are battling to get into that midfield and own it. But now we have a little bit of a breakaway by Namibia.
Great tackle there by Kenya.
Namibia resorting to that overhead again. Great throw, but
intercepted.
Picked up by Kenya. So I think if you're going to use the overhead to relieve pressure, not a problem. If you're using it to try and get possession deeper, then you must make sure that you're throwing that overhead onto one of your players and not the opposition.
Definitely. Kenya's ball. So there's the physicality of Kenya and Namibia.
but the Namibian holding her own to be able to, you know, turn the ball over. There's the big hit.
Another big
Into
hit
the
by
last
Namibia,
quarter.
and it is out.
Another 16 for Kenya. So the ball's being played wide. There's the middle of the field is consolidated and compact, so they're resorting to playing it wide, and a very difficult area to be in to attack the circle.
Definitely.
So yeah, that's why I say I think someone needs to take that midfield dominance
And
a bit
dominate
more.
right
Yeah.
through the middle field.
It could turn the game in your favor.
A great hit there by Namibia.
Oh,
Kenya is right at the top to intercept it.
Another interception. Yeah, well, Kenya have turned it over. Now they're on a bit of a break down the right flank. Namibians running hard to get back.
There's that ball.
There's that long ball again. Yeah, you just need someone on the end of that, and yeah, create a 1v1 with the goalie.
Definitely.
But I think Jasmine had it covered.
There goes Namibia's number 8.
Again down the flank, yeah.
She can see some sharp movement there from Namibia. Unfortunately, there was a foul. Kenya's ball. A turnover there by Namibia.
So Namibia making some nice connections, but at the crucial moment we just, either Kenya's getting stuck in and turning it over, or we're making those basic errors. You know?
Yeah, definitely. Another tackle there by Namibia.
Nice breakdown on the flank.
We're almost at the end of this first Chaka. 2 minutes to go, and the score is still 0-0.
I think a chukker of both teams trying to feel each other out and understand, what they need to do to get the upper edge.
So definitely we will have to most probably anticipate the second Chaka being more strategic after the first one.
Yeah, I mean the coaches will have about 2 minute break to try and do something different and hope that they can turn that second Chaka in their favor.
Then Namibia has ball possession again.
So yeah, Kenya switching the ball to the right flank. Great aggressive tackle by Namibia. Bit of a foul though, so Kenya retained possession. I just think there's an element of the game now where they keep going down the ball side, as we call it, instead of maybe looking at switching the ball to the help side,
Exactly.
and going to that area where there's less players. Right now they're just bashing into each other. It's like double turnovers, and no one's really taking advantage of that right now. So.
Definitely, as you can see, one side of
All right, so there you go. That's the help side pass. Look at the space available.
Yeah.
Really good pass from Namibia's side. And, a bit more space to work with, So there's Namibia troughing the ball, and end of the first quarter. So Pinks, what do you think?
So I think right now the teams are still trying to figure each other out.
Yeah.
So we will definitely see if the coaches come up with something different for the second Chaka. They were definitely warming up and there is great potential from the Namibian side. They're applying the pressure, but Kenya is holding down their fort with the defense and turning over the ball. So it's a tight game.
Yeah, so still 0-0 end of the first chukka. As you said, the coaches will now hopefully come up with a little strategy that they've picked up in the first 15 minutes. And yeah, share that with the girls, make some changes as to what they need to do to get an outcome. I think possession still stays in favor of Namibia, and they're just not taking advantage of it now. But as you said, you know, these are young girls. Most of them, it's probably their first big tournament, you know, playing at international level. So a lot of nerves, a lot of uneasiness in that first quarter.
Definitely.
Hopefully they can now start settling down and get to business.
Get to real business, yeah.
But a real beautiful day at the Astro, the Dave and Astro. The weather is sublime. It is very hot out there. So I think towards the second half, the fitness levels and who can hold their own in this type of weather,
it's going to be
that could be the difference.
Definitely.
The crowds are starting to build up from this morning. There was bits and pieces, but now we're starting to see a bit of home support coming to the fields,
which is always a great sight to see. When supporters come to watch hockey, it's always a great sight.
Yeah, I think it's sad, you know, when you have a local tournament that you don't get more, you know, people just coming to support, you know, your own nation.
Yeah.
It just makes for the atmosphere of the game as well.
And definitely boosts the confidence of the people that are playing on the pitch. So it's definitely beautiful to see that the stands are being packed. As you see now, the players are back on the field, and Namibia has started the second chukka. Kenya has managed to turn over the ball, but it's a foul.
So for those of you joining us, back home or on TV or on your iPad, we're now in the second quarter of the Kenya versus Namibia under-21 ladies game. The score is sitting at 0-0. Both teams, still feeling the waters. Namibia has put a lot of pressure on the Kenyan last quarter. But Kenyans are holding out and then turning ball over and counter-attacking. Yeah?
Definitely. So another turnover there by Namibia. Namibia has ball possession, and it's a foul. It's a turnover for Kenya.
So Kenya are really crowding that circle. I think so Namibia, I can understand why they're battling, but they then need to get that ball wide and then come in from the flanks.
Stretch, definitely, yeah. There you have Kenya.
So Kenya on a bit of a break now into the second half of the Namibian field of play. They've gone wide. There's the big hit into the circle. Oof.
What a close call there for Kenya.
Open player just in front of the Namibian goals, but she doesn't get a touch to the ball.
What a
opportunity. Oh, there's a physical tackle that we spoke about earlier on.
See, Kenya is definitely...
Yeah, that Namibian player felt that tackle.
Definitely felt it.
There's an overhead right into Zayli Philander, into the circle. A good ball open. Top of the circle.
By the goalkeeper.
The goalie's holding out. The player's on and
it's a penalty corner.
It's a penalty corner.
As you can see, Namibia, the crowd is shouting Namibia. We'll see if Namibia will capitalize on this opportunity. This is the second penalty corner for Namibia in this.
Second penalty corner in the game so far, both to Namibia. Again, a double castle at the top of the circle. We'll be looking at the big guns. The last one, they took a straight shot. Maybe we get a drag flick out of this or a slip.
Let's see.
Break by Kenya, so we'll have a retake. Namibia sticking to their guns. There was no conversing whether they should change what they were going to do.
See Kenya's one-man short in the circle.
Umpire helping with the adjustment of
helmet.
masks.
See the sportsmanship here on the hockey field.
There's the push out. Again, slightly wide. I don't know if it took a touch. No, just went wide of the post.
Straight wide.
So, yeah.
Another missed opportunity there by Namibia.
0 from 2. Namibia really putting pressure on the back two of Kenya. Kenya just can't get the ball out of their 16.
Namibia is definitely holding them put in their 16. That must be painful there for
a
Azali.
little bit of a lifted ball. There's a self-player, quick self-player, open player in the circle, shot at goal. Again, just wide of that outside post. Zali Finlander wide open on the baseline. A hard shot to take, but yeah, you just got to hope that you get it on the goal.
Definitely.
So in principles of hockey, we would have a principle that when you come in from the left-hand side, you would go far post with the shot and not near post.
Not the closest one.
Because what would a goalie do in that case?
Definitely will be.
Oh, there you go.
Post. There you go. Namibia has scored 1 goal.
Yeah. Great pass into the circle, a slip outside to an open player. Goalie had committed, and Namibia able to walk that ball into the back of the net.
And the goal was by Kruger Mareka.
Mareka Kriya. Yeah, there's the slip pass, great pass. Mareka just standing wide open, and she just virtually walks it into the back of the net. The goalie commits, misses, and there's the ball in the back of the net. 1-0 to Namibia. All right, so now we've had our first goal action, so the game should pick up now. Namibia will be on a high. They're going to put a lot of pressure on Kenya now. They're confident. Kenya will just have to settle and regroup and just, be a little bit patient.
Yeah.
They build up.
As you can see, Kenya is trying to move out of their
16. Still battling.
Namibia is definitely coming in. Another opportunity there for Namibia. Again, goalkeeper has committed. Beautiful save there by Kenya. 16.
Yeah, the Kenyan defenders aren't shy of getting stuck in her. She was on her knees trying to play that ball so that they couldn't have the shot.
Kenya's ball.
But Namibia really putting pressure in that third quarter. Kenya are battling to get out. Again, they turn it over. And now Namibia has the advantage in numbers.
You have Anthea there. The pressure, Namibia is applying pressure on the Kenyan ladies. Another ball again in the circle, and it is out.
So if you were the Kenyan coach now, Pinks, what would you be doing, thinking?
Wow. I think I would definitely, because they're playing the middle too much. The Kenyan team, I would definitely say they should stretch it out a little, because Namibia is coming in right in the middle and intercepting their balls. And also maybe pass shorter balls, because the hard hit is definitely landing on the Namibian stick, and that is how Namibia is exactly what I just said. That is how Namibia is able to turn over those balls.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Those long balls are just being turned over by Namibia. They're actually backing off, and waiting for it. So if they just play the shorter ball, they should be able to keep possession a bit more and get into that half.
Definitely.
There's again the big hit. But it is onto a Kenyan player. Turnover by Namibia. And Namibia go wide again, down the flank. So free just outside the 25. Pass is turned over. Kenya get possession. And again, they go
right
down
back into Namibia.
yeah.
Then Namibia. Kenya is definitely pushing. You have a 2-on-1 there, and it's a foul, so it's for Kenya.
Yeah, Namibia trying to tackle in pairs, but I think both getting stuck in instead of supporting each other. And Kenya was able to turn it over.
There was a first overhead by the Kenyan side. Namibia has managed to turn it over.
All right, so possession steps, again, still in favor of Namibia, 57%. Kenya sitting with 43. It is the picture of the game right now.
Definitely.
And I think that's why Namibia have the edge.
You can see maybe the sun is also starting to take a little bit effect on,
definitely
the ladies on the court.
Definitely will.
Kenya is trying to move out of their 16. Kenya there has an opportunity, and it is a turnover.
Nila Malan able to take the tackle on the Kenyan, turn it over. But again, double turnovers, you know. Coach's worst nightmare in a team.
Definitely, this game is a game of turnovers. The Kenyan captain, Ranga Doughty. Namibia has ball possession.
Oh, it's a great tackle by the Kenyan.
A tackle there by the Kenyan team. Kenyan captain taking it again. Another straight hit right into the Namibian stick. There you see Namibia at the top circle of Kenya. Kenya trying to push. Namibia inside the Kenyan circle again. And it's another missed opportunity.
Yeah, and I think Namibia needs to be a bit more aggressive in the circle. When you have opportunities like that, you need to put the ball on the goals at the wrist that you could score a goal.
Definitely.
There's the backstick shot, and it's pulled wide. That's an example of taking the shot, you know, not playing around or looking for a pass. Unfortunately, the execution wasn't so great.
Yeah. It's a 16 for Kenya.
The Kenyan captain has really been a presence in this game, though. She's all over the place. She's really trying to get her team back into the game. She's been the hub of the distribution of the ball.
And sometimes that is what you need from a captain, because then she's the heart of the team, making sure she's carrying the spirit of the team. Namibia has possession of the ball. Kenya has been able to turn over. There you see the Kenyan captain again. Namibia turnover. Again, turnover.
Double turnovers, Pinks.
Definitely the game of turnovers today.
Very much so. But I must say the Kenyans are going for the long ball, and they're getting some of it straight through the gap into the circle. They just need someone on the end of it now.
Definitely. They need somebody standing at the top D to receive that ball, because it is going straight to the circle on the Namibian side.
You can see the confidence of the Namibian ladies right now. They're playing the ball very nicely. There was a nice play to the middle, switch it to the outside, down the flank. Yeah, again, just at the end of the move, we just can't get it into that circle.
Yeah. We have 4 minutes left of the second chaka before we go into halftime. Kenya has possession of the ball. A turnover there by Namibia. Azali, captain on the Namibian side, pushing the ball forward and back into the Kenyan, and it's out. There on your screens, you can see the names of our umpires. We have Swart from South Africa, and we have Johari from Malaysia. And our reserve umpire is from Zimbabwe, Moshoko. So definitely the officials are neutral in this game.
And so far, what I enjoy about officials like these two is that the game is not about the officials, it's about the players. And you've hardly noticed them on the field. You know, they're blowing
You
very...
barely can see them.
Yeah, they're blowing very well. And, yeah, compliments to them so far.
Definitely.
So Namibia still putting pressure in that last quarter. Now they turn it over. Quick self-play, but the Kenyans just get in the way the whole time. They need to move the ball to the help side. Quick passes down the line.
I think there was a foot fault there.
Yeah.
Namibia's ball.
There's a quick self-play down the baseline. Good tackle from the Kenyan. And a foul by... Oh.
What a good tackle there by Sawanga from the Kenyan side. She's definitely holding down the fort on her end. I've been watching.
So there's a basic error by, you know, players with maybe it's the experience or the excitement of the game. You know, she didn't take the ball 5 yards before she entered the circle and turned over a player that she had advantage of.
Then Namibia has managed to turn over again. But Kenya was right there. Again, Namibia is in possession. Azali Vilanda at the top of the circle. Kenya manages to defend. Still Namibia, and it's a long corner for Namibia.
So the Namibians are starting to press their back four higher now. They're putting a lot of numbers ahead of them. They're very high now, so there's a lot of pressure on the Kenyans. That's why they're turning it over all the time. They just need to get an outcome now.
1 minute 31 seconds left on the second chaka.
Namibia are trying everything. They're self-playing. They're trying now the long ball into the circle, but the Kenyans are just, yeah.
The Kenyans are there. They
Watertight.
said, you will see me today. They're definitely not letting Namibia off the hook.
No. They're not going to make it easy for them today.
Definitely not.
Oh. I don't think that was any malice in that tackle, just a bit of aggression.
Yeah. Then Namibia has ball possession again.
All right, so now they're trying to stretch the ball around the back to give them a bit more room to work with. But Kenya's there in their face again, turning the ball over.
Kenya has possession. We have an opportunity there for, and she misses. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. The second chaka is over. We are now going into halftime.
The score still 1-0, well now 1-0 in favour of Namibia. I think possession stats show that Namibia have had the advantage of this first half. But Kenya are fighting stay, and 1-0 is not good enough.
Yeah.
It's not a lead that you could safely sit back and say, you know, we've got this game.
So definitely, when we get into the second half, either Namibia will have to push for another goal, or Kenya is definitely going to try and get their side as well.
So what do you think Coach Cedric McCarthy will be saying to the Namibia ladies?
I think he's going to tell them to be more controlling on the ball, because the ball on the stick it's moving, bouncing off a lot. There's not much ball control that I'm seeing, but so far I think they're keeping their pace very well.
Yeah. So we're watching a few of the highlights of the game. I think a game of missed opportunities right now, you know, not taking advantage of those, but Kenya have really sacrificed everything to make sure that that ball does not go in the back of the net.
Definitely. They
There
said
was a really good chance for Zayli Philander. Again, you know, I see what she saw now, that
yeah.
inside post was open.
It was definitely open. There's the goal by Mareka Kruger that is now has confidently secured Namibia with the score of 1-0.
The girls are looking a little bit lethargic out there. I think the heat is starting to take its toll halfway through the game. So I know Christou, assistant coach Christou, and Coach Cedric have been working really hard on the girls' fitness. So I have no doubt that they'll hang in there and be able to, you know, to last another 2 chukkers.
Definitely. As you can see now, the clouds are coming in just a little bit to cover the field. Hopefully it will be this way for the second half, because the sun will always take a toll on you, especially if you're running up and down the hockey field.
All right, so the stats so far: Namibia 1 goal, Kenya 0. Shots on goal, Namibia have the edge 6-2. Circle penetrations are in favour. Again, you know, not turning those 11 circle penetrations into goals. Even shots, you know. So possession still in favour of Namibia, 57-43. 2 penalty corners, no goals from the set pieces, which is a little bit worrying. But a nice clean game played in a good spirit, although it is really aggressive out there. No cards have been given, but again, compliments to the 2 umpires, because
definitely, because they are definitely doing their job. As you can see, the game is very clean. And it's just pure hockey. It's beautiful to watch as we get ready for the second half.
Kenyan coach will be saying what to his team?
They definitely need to put in some more confidence, and they need to push forward into the Namibian circle, because they've missed quite a few opportunities there where the ball would go straight and the Namibian goalkeeper would just let it, you know, flow in. So if they definitely get a player in the top D, they might be able to capitalize.
Yeah. All right, we're just going to take a short break, and we'll be back with you just now.
Are you ready to uncover the stories behind the sport?
I never wanted to be a coach.
Get up close and personal with the biggest names in Namibian sport on the playbook.
You build your character and you look at yourself and say, but this is not the end.
From their humble beginnings to their greatest triumphs,
I enjoy driving.
we bring you the stories that inspire and the moments that define their legacies.
You sure you want to do this? I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. You know? Thank you.
Don't miss the in-depth interviews, exclusive insights, and captivating journeys every week on the playbook, where sports meets storytelling.
tune in every Thursday at 7 p.m. on NBC TV for Soccer Pitch, Namibia's premier football magazine show.
I spoke about myself, like I'm being bullied.
Currently, they getting paid salaries that are better than some of the guys in the Premier League.
Yeah. How many competitive leagues do we have in the regions?
Football is business. And if you're not in for business, I think you need to get out.
Dive deep into the latest football headlines with expert analysis on fixtures, results, and issues on and off the pitch with us.
You must be able to meet specific minimum.
Okay,
I'm educating you now.
Sign the contracts in the night or in the day? The contracts are signed at night here.
Whether it's profiling star players, catching up with club administrators, or hearing from former football greats, Soccer Pitch brings you closer to the beautiful game.
Plus, we keep you in the loop with a touch
Of international flair.
with me, your host, Javita Kanjumbwa.
And me, Setan Nishidimbwa.
Don't miss out on your weekly football fix. Soccer Pitch has it all. Soccer Pitch. For the love of the game. NBC. It's ours.
We are double the trouble and double the speed. Join us, your hosts, as we take you on the ultimate ride through the world of high-performance cars. From the latest models to classic machines, and from racing cars to the muddy gravel of Namibia. This is Twin Turbo, coming soon to NBC TV.
So welcome back to the Junior Africa Cup in Windhoek, Namibia. Kenya are playing the Namibia ladies. It's going into the second half now. The score is 1-0 to Namibia. Pinks, your comments?
Well, I'm definitely excited to see what the Kenyan side has to bring on the second half of this game. Again, just be reminded we are here at the Devon Trustco Hockey Stadium, right at the heart of Windhoek High School. If you are at home this weekend and you're not doing anything, come out and show some love to the Junior Africa Cup. It's definitely something worth coming to freshen your mind on.
A lovely facility, a lovely day, and a great, great teams, great tournament to be at, to watch the next level of hockey, and to watch our juniors, making their way into the real world of hockey.
Definitely. There you go. The game has started. Kenya coming in hard. What a tackle there from the Namibian side. Namibia has managed to turn over. Again, another turnover by Kenya.
So Kenya are really passing the ball quite well all of a sudden. They were looking for the long ball. They're keeping it short now. Must have been the coach's sort of advice to the players for the second half. Namibia has a 1-0 lead, but it's not a score line that you want to sit back on. And
yeah, they definitely gonna have to work for another goal if they want to sit back and just relax.
So Namibia throw another over. Jess Gresser, really strong girl. She can throw a ball, quite a distance. So real good player or technique to use at this level. But Kenya are really now playing the ball around, but yeah, it's those double turnovers for both teams right now. I think whoever can hold on to the ball a little bit longer and make the connections and keep them, it's the side that could take today's game.
Definitely. See, Namibia has taken over again.
That's a nice 1-2 play down the flank. Ball is put on the box and shot at goal by Marlene Kutsia, but it again going wide of the post.
That's a 16 there for the Kenyan side. There you can see that Kenya has ball possession. The tackle there. Another hit there by the Kenyan captain. Unfortunately, it couldn't reach her teammate's stick. It's a 16 there for the Namibian side.
So now we're seeing a bit more play down, through the middle. There it is, a 2v1 to Namibia in the favour. And another great tackle by Kenya.
What a beautiful tackle there by Kenya.
Yeah, I think if the Namibian player just let the ball go earlier, it was a 2v1 in their favour. But again, another turnover in favour of Namibia. They attack, a turnover in favour of Kenya.
Definitely the game of turnovers. Tackle there by the Kenyan captain.
There's that desperate tackle by Kenya to get that ball, turn it over, which they do. They just need to slow it down, take it to the 16 and get it rolling again.
Yeah. You see there Namibia is pressing with the 3 men. Definitely a deep press there. See if Kenya can get out. There you go. Another turnover there by Namibia.
Shoddy. So it looks like it was a foot just outside the circle, which would be a free hit to Namibia. So they need to look at really playing the ball now wide or back and getting it back in again.
Definitely.
But they need to take advantage of this free hit.
Interception there by the Kenyan side. Namibia turns over again.
Oh, great skill from Mareka Niathling there. Eliminates a player. She just didn't have time to get the ball into the circle.
Another free hit there for the Namibia
She's running
side.
at the Kenyan players have to back off. She gets it in. Again, my frustration is that ball's not going onto the box, you know.
Exactly.
At the risk that the goalie has to play it, maybe you get second phase. Everything's going wide. If they can just put it on the goals.
They're definitely not being as aggressive as you would expect them to be in the circle.
Yeah. Again, pressure on that left back forces an error. Turnover to Namibia once again. They need to take advantage of these turnovers now and entering that last quarter. All right, so they've come out of the ball side. They're starting to stretch. This is great play. Down the left side, the help side, it's quite open there. Bit more space. Ball played in. There's the turn.
There.
Back stick shot.
Goalkeeper was right there to intercept it. There's a foul.
Everything was right there. The execution on the shot was lacking a little bit, but she did the right thing.
She did.
She took the shot.
She just needed a little bit more power in the arms.
Bit more malip-up.
Yeah. There you see that Kenya has ball possession.
You just need to protect the ball and get it out there.
Namibia is dominating the Kenyan side, although they still haven't been able to successfully score another goal.
So 5 minutes gone of the third chaka. Namibia still leading 1-0. The possession is sort of 50-50 now. Kenya putting a bit more pressure on Namibia, but there's a lot of calmness there, playing it out.
Great pressure there by the Kenyan side.
Yeah,
Kenya has an opportunity there. Will they capitalize on it? Kenya still has ball possession.
There's the captain. She's going to do a long one through, again picked off by the Namibian player.
A foul there.
So we hear the Kenyan coach shouting at the players to keep their players. They're letting them loose, so they're able to, to get that overload. So I see Coach Cedric, it looks like he's playing a 2-3-2-3 formation, which means he's confident that there's not going to be a lot. And he's trying to flood the midfield a bit more, get numbers up there to create and build up on the attack. A wild swing by the Kenyan. Mia Carstens, the Namibian player, was on the end of that. She looks like she took a little bit of a knock. She's going to go for a quick check-up and just make sure she's okay.
I think she got a green card as well.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so there's a green card, which means that Kenya can now take the advantage of that one-man advantage. So they need to get the ball up into the Namibian half, which they do again with a long ball.
We'll see if Kenya can capitalize on this opportunity with Namibia being one man down. There you see the captain, Azali Philander. Namibian ball.
The Kenyans really got back quickly, though, with that run by Zayli. But she had no one there to assist her. She had to take the player on.
She can see beautiful, simple hockey, 1-2, 1-2. And there you have it. Namibia has their third penalty corner in the third chaka.
So that's Abby Rolls forcing a short corner. Nice stick work to try and get through the players. Instead, she creates the foul and gets a short corner for her team. So this is the third short corner for Namibia, the third short corner of the game. The last two they've put wide with that straight shot from top D.
Perhaps they'll change their tactic on this one.
Maybe. Still working the double castle.
Another missed opportunity there by Namibia.
So
went wide.
So it went to the second castle, but again the shot top of the D was wide, unless they were looking for a deflection, but I didn't see anyone running there for that second post.
Definitely. Kenya has ball possession there. And it is out. It's Namibia's ball.
So Namibian management team will have to do a bit of homework tonight regarding those set pieces.
On their penalty corners, definitely they'll have to go back to the drawing board. There on your screen it's indicated Kristen did indeed get a green card.
Okay, so there's the use of the over again. Well picked up by Zayli Philander. But as she gets the ball, three Kenyans dive onto her to turn the ball over again.
They are definitely attacking. They're not letting the Namibian girls run with the ball, which is definitely beautiful to see. There is another turnover there by the Namibian side, but the Kenya double tackle.
So Mia's back on the field. That was Mia Carsten who got the green card, and she's straight into the thick of things, Pinky. So possession 55-45 in favour of Namibia. Slightly clawing back a few percentages.
You see Kenya is building their confidence with the ball possession. Slowly but surely. There's a foul then. Kenyan captain is taking the ball and she's going for a straight ball. And it is out. There's a free hit there for the Namibian side.
So as a coach, when you look at the stats, for me it would be worrying that you have the benefit of the possession to that extent. You would expect to get, more goals out of it.
Definitely.
And then the second part is your set pieces. You score goals from short corners. Yeah?
You should be able to capitalize on it.
Oh,
what a
on the
save
line.
there!
A double save on the line. But Tisha Samira gets that.
She has made sure it went to the back of the net there. What a fight there by the Kenyan goalkeeper. Unfortunately for her, Tisha was right there to push it right into it.
Yeah, to find the goals through all the bodies that were on the line there, Pinky. But there's the pass, a great open opportunity.
What a save there
great
by
save,
the goalkeeper.
And then a double save. There she makes a second save, and then she just couldn't hold out. Tisha finishing off with a second goal for the Namibia. Namibia now 2-0 up in the third chukka. Starting to really look confident on the ball. They have the possession upper hand. So they're now at the 2-0 trap, the dreaded 2-0 trap area. So it would be nice if they can work towards getting their third goal, just giving them a little bit of a buffer ahead of Kenya in this game. Again, the game's been physical, Pinks, but the umpires are really controlling the game. No unnecessary cards for the aggression.
Yeah. So they're not trying to break down play, as you can see there. I think that's the strategy there from the umpires. Although it is a little bit physical. Then Namibia has possession again, and Kenya has managed to turn over. Another straight hit. No Kenyan person or player up there to the front, so right back into the Namibian hands.
I think if you're going to do that, you must make sure you have players ahead of the ball, that can get to it, and otherwise keep it short and simple.
Find the stick. Kenyan side is able to turn over again. Namibia.
But so far, Pinks, the Namibian defence have been really solid. Hey? They haven't given away any PCs. It hasn't looked like they've, really stressed too much in their 25.
They're not stressing at all. I think the Namibian defence is definitely cruising. Kenyan's ball there on the line.
So one might forget that Namibia actually has a goalie in the box right now. I don't think Jasmine's touched the ball today.
I think she just touched it just a little bit to pass it over to one of her defenders. But it's usually boring for a goalkeeper when you're standing in the post and the balls are not coming. You ask yourself, why am I even here?
Yeah.
So it has its pros and cons.
The danger is if Kenya does get a breakaway and a 1v1 with the goalie, that they haven't been in the game.
Exactly. So she might be a little bit too relaxed because there hasn't been much happening. Yeah. So you definitely always want to keep yourself warm when your team is dominating and you're in the box.
So as a goalkeeper, what would you do in that case then? What's the sort of...
I think I would constantly run up and down in the circle, shout here and there, just to keep myself focused on the game, because it's very easy for you to get sidetracked and start watching the game like a spectator. Yeah. So you definitely want to
take a sip of water.
Exactly.
Squirt the bottle in your face. So Marlene Kutsia has a shot and goal backstick, but again goes wide of the post. So
seems like they keep on missing the target there. Kenya has possession of the ball.
So Namibia are really trying to stop Kenya going down their strong side, the right-hand side. They're flooding the left-hand side, trying to turn it over, and then getting the ball out and attacking the right-hand side.
Beautiful tackle there by Besedonode.
Shorty. Yeah.
There we have our fourth penalty corner. Will Namibia be able to capitalize on this opportunity? They have not been able to capitalize on any of their penalty corners. What do you think, Trev?
Well, the Kenyan captain's disputing with the umpire that it shouldn't have been a shorty, but it was a little bit of a, again, scrappy play. Yeah, I think they've tried the straight pump from the top, so, you know, maybe someone who could just drag flick. I know Mareka can drag flick.
Yeah.
Just put it on the box, you know, at the risk that you might score a second phase. Maybe a deflection off of one of the posts rather with a slap.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there's so much you can do, but we'll see. Oh, there you go. So Mareka went for the drag. I don't know if he was hoping for a deflection. It was a little bit
slow, but
and too low to the ground. If she can just get it off the ground, she might get something out of it.
Another opportunity there for Namibia.
It's a retake. Mareka again. There's the again shorty foot. So she's getting it off. She's just not finding the space.
Yeah.
Look, you know, I don't know. Coaches, should be analysing what's going on now.
Yeah.
The right-hand side is very open, so there's.
I would have opted that they would take it this side.
Yeah, maybe push it to the right. So Mareka goes for the drag now, goes for height, but unfortunately too high.
Definitely, and then she misses the box once again.
So they need to do some serious work on their set pieces, though, Pink.
Yeah, they definitely do. And I think they should take it into consideration to switch the sides, because they've been taking it on one side.
Yeah.
Perhaps they could have taken it on the weaker side as well, just to give a little bit of...
change things up.
There you see Kenya has ball possession. You see the Namibia pushing forward, and Kenya has intercepted. And that is the end of our third chukka, ladies and gentlemen.
So, the score 2-0 to Namibia, again going in favour of the possession they've had. Statistically, they've been really solid at the back, had a lot more opportunities going forward than Kenya. But their worst enemy right now, I think, you know, they're not taking advantage set pieces. I think, what, 6 short corners now?
I think so, yeah.
6, 7.
6, 7. And no goal.
And not even on the box at this stage.
Nothing at all.
Yeah. So definitely need to work on that a bit, because that can cost you a game and could win you a game.
Exactly.
But defense looking very solid. Their structural play is good. They're playing the ball wide. Kenya are defending like Trojans at the back.
They're definitely defending.
Heart, body, soul. They're throwing
blood, sweat, everything.
The kitchen sink. They're throwing everything at the. And it's really hard to play against a team like that. You know, everybody thinks, you know, you've got the possession, you're in there half the whole time, but when you've got 10 players, you know, putting
pressure.
their tent up in the circle, it's very difficult to find space and get goals out of it.
Definitely, to get your mind to relax and just aim for the box. As you can see, that the teams are getting ready to get back on the field for our fourth and final chukka.
So, Namibian coach will be saying what, Pinks, to the team?
I think he's going to be telling them, first of all, to switch up their penalty corner setup and a bit more aggression in the circle. Aim for the goal box, make sure the ball hits the back of the net. I think as a coach, I would focus on that.
I don't think they need to change much. It's not that their game plan's not working. I think it's just technical issues, you know. And a coach cannot be held responsible if a player can't stop or pass properly.
Definitely.
So the girls really just need to tighten up a little bit. Those connections need to be, you know, a lot more accurate and on point. And then, you know, take the opportunities that you get by putting the ball in the back of the net.
Exactly. See Namibia doing a double tackle there. There you can see the score. Namibia has 2 and Kenya has a 0 at the moment.
So Namibia is still not out of the comfort zone scenario. I mean, you know, I would still be stressing as a coach, you know, wanting to get that third goal just to put a
solidify
because if
possible win.
Yeah, because if Kenya get a goal back, you know, the pressure's on Namibia.
Exactly.
And that biorhythm change,
Yeah.
you know, is really, really difficult at this level.
So definitely Namibia should be aiming to score for a third goal, just so that they can definitely sort of solidify their win. As you can see there, Namibia is applying pressure on the 16 of the Kenyan side.
Shorty. So that's quite a harsh blow, but yeah, if the intention was, you know, to obstruct the player with the ball, you know, having an opportunity to go forward, then
it's a foul.
It can be a foul, yeah.
You see there, Namibia has another penalty corner. Will they be able to capitalize on a penalty corner to score their third goal?
So if you look at the body language, you know, they don't look confident in where they are right now.
Exactly.
You know, they're looking at each other. Decisions aren't being made. So yeah.
Maybe I set up one castle there at the top.
That's okay.
Back to Tish. And it is a goal there by Tish.
There
Definitely, I don't think the goalkeeper expected that. She looked a little bit confused as to what just happened.
But the first time Namibia have tried something different.
Yes,
you know, they've been knocking on the door wasn't opening. They go for an alternate and we get a goal out of it. I think the push wide wasn't that greatest. It could have backfired. But Tish really corrected what you know, and got something out of it, and a great slap into that far corner.
Beautiful slap
Really
there
good.
by Tish.
Even the players in the circle didn't expect it. But Namibia 3-0.
Namibia 3-0.
So I think the coaching staff will relax. You know,
yeah, now they can confidently say, okay, we have this in the back pocket. We'll see what Kenya has to bring now in the last 12 minutes of this game. Another turnover there by the Namibian side. Kenya manages to get a hold of the ball. Turnover right into the Namibian stick.
So hopefully the Namibian players and the Namibian coaching staff can relax a little bit in the sense that, you know what, they now can play hockey. You know,
yeah.
They've got over that hurdle. Not to say that in hockey, you know, 3-0 can also bite you in the... Yeah.
Definitely, but in the last chaka, it's definitely a comfortable place to be in.
It is.
Yeah. There she managed to get a foot fault. Namibia's ball.
This advantage being played by the umpire. Shot on goal. And
beautiful tackle there.
Kenya turn it over once again. Nice bit of skill from the Kenyan. But there again, she goes for the long ball.
Oh, her missed.
So, and she just needs to connect. If she had connected that ball,
that would have been a beautiful.
It would have been a really well-structured goal.
There you see there Tish with the ball.
So the goal scorer, Tisha Semedo.
Turnover there by the Kenyan side again. Straight ball. Kenya has an opportunity here. And she lets it into her teammate's foot, and it's a foul.
That's much better hockey from it. It looks like they're more relaxed now, and they're starting to play really good structured hockey, and just that finishing part of the move.
It's Namibia's ball there at the top of Kenya's circle. I will have to say Kenya is definitely putting up a good fight.
Yeah.
They definitely, I applaud them there. They're definitely putting up a good fight in their defense. It's just Namibia has managed to crack through the mistakes that they've committed.
So Namibia had that free hit just outside the circle, and again, Pinks, I think a lot of teams don't really spend enough time on set piece free hits, you know, in that area, because you really could get an outcome and a goal from, you know, that advantage.
Most definitely. The Kenyan captain has the ball.
Oh, she's really been the heart and soul of the Kenyan team today.
She definitely has.
She's paying back her
dues.
She's really played well today.
Kenya's ball. Namibia is definitely not giving Kenya any room to breathe. Great interception there by the Kenyan side. Namibia has ball possession. Beautiful ball control there. And it's out.
So Kenya are really battling to get into that fourth quarter, or, you know, the Namibian 25. They're doing everything right to get it out, playing, but they just cannot find a connection in the 25.
Yeah. It's a free hit there for the Kenyan side, right into the Namibian stick.
So that's a nice play from Mila Malan. She's now switched the ball. It's going to the help side, which is, there's a lot of space. Just needed to find a player, and they would have had a straight path to goal.
Definitely.
But again, the Kenyans just getting in the way.
Kenya is definitely holding down their fort there. They're saying we are not going down without a battle.
Yeah, look, if they get a goal back now in the next minute or two, you know, it could change the game in their favor. Just the biorhythms would play in their favor, and it could really play havoc on the Namibian team.
Yeah.
But Namibia looks really in control. You know, there's no reason to stress right now. They have the upper hand. I think they just need to use the space a lot more, you know, throw the ball, use the width of the field, stretch the Kenyans, and they'll find another one.
Then Namibia has another opportunity in the circle, and it is intercepted by the Kenyan side. Ladies and gentlemen, if you just started tuning in, you are watching the Junior Africa Cup live on NBC, and we are here at the Trusco Devon field here by Windhoek High. We are watching Namibia play against Kenya under 21 side.
So the structure of the tournament now, with some of the African sides withdrawing, is a round robin. And in a round robin, goals really count. So Namibia might kick themselves later on, you know, with the goals, that the missed opportunities they had today. You know, and even though they'll win today's game, or should convincingly, they, you know, goal difference will make or could play a role at the end of the tournament.
Definitely. So they might have a few regrets, because they had so many. Yeah, they had so many opportunities to really secure a good score against Kenya. Then Namibia is maintaining ball possession. Kenyan defense is right there. And they're definitely getting that line ball on target. It's just they don't have somebody right in the heart of the Namibian circle. But they're moving it very well there on the line.
So possession stats 63. Namibia is really now stretching the possession. They've had the ball for a big part of the game. Kenya with 37%, and that does play in favour of the scoreline. Namibia in the lead of 3-0.
And we just have 5 minutes left of this game. You can see the Namibian players are definitely more relaxed, and they are playing to their full potential right now. Definitely taking advantage of the field, passing the ball, creating space.
So there's a deliberate out by the Kenyan out the baseline, which has given Namibia a short corner again. Do you think they'll stick with Semedo?
We'll see.
Don't change what's not broken.
I mean, let's see what they can come up with this time.
Or the big gun's going to back themselves to try and get one in today. Even a pass back to Pusher, could be an alternate in this game.
Just a easy deflection.
Yeah.
Will Namibia be able to capitalize on this opportunity? Another missed opportunity there.
Again, the straight shot. It's just, I have no doubt that the girls on the end of that, are really good at strong girls. But it's just not working today.
It's just not picking up today. And you have those days.
Totally.
You definitely have those days.
You can practice all day, Pinks, but in a game situation, things change.
There, Azali has an opportunity. Right, beautiful save there by the Kenyan goalkeeper. It is out, so it's a 16. It's a long corner. Long corner there for the Namibian ladies.
She's really made some good saves today. She's kept her team in the game.
She definitely has.
There's only so much a goalie can do.
And that's what we always say. As a goalkeeper, she has done a great deal.
Oh, off the post. There you go. Second phase. Mareka Kriya with the second phase. First shot on the post came back. Fortunately, straight back at her, and she was able to.
She managed to secure it. Unfortunately, it's not a goal on the Namibian side.
I don't know what happened, but
then Namibia has another opportunity. Great interception there by the Kenyan side.
So I think the coaching staff will be very happy with the result to bank a win on your first game. But they will definitely be doing a lot of homework tonight on the set pieces.
Yeah.
Maybe on the build-up play into the circle. With that type of possession we saw earlier on, you need to get outcomes.
Yeah.
So from
the possession should definitely be reflecting the score.
In the score. Kenya, how will Kenya be looking at it today?
I think Kenya should go back to the drawing board. Definitely focus on making sure the ball is reaching a teammate's stick as opposed to just hitting it in any direction. That's definitely what they will have to go work on. The 1-2-1-2 basic hockey. First time I'm seeing the Kenyan side in the Namibian circle.
In the circle, and unfortunately the Namibian defense once again turns that ball over. Yeah, I think, Kenya will probably kick themselves that they, didn't play a friendly game. As far as I know, they didn't. They should have maybe played a friendly game to get into the tournament. So the first game's under the belt, and hopefully there'll be an improvement in the next one.
Definitely.
But they definitely need to try stick to that short ball play a lot more than what they...
Than the long passes, because they're amounting to nothing, unfortunately, for the Kenyan side. Perhaps they should just focus on the basic 1-2-1-2. That would definitely yield a bit of a different result there. Namibia turns over. And it is out. Long corner there for the Namibian side. 2 minutes left of this game between Namibia and Kenya.
So for the viewers, tomorrow SA plays Zambia at 9 o'clock. Then the Zimbabwe girls take on Namibia at 5 o'clock tomorrow. And the late game will be Uganda, who we haven't seen yet. Hopefully they will arrive. and they will be taking on Kenya. So hopefully Kenya can turn it around against Uganda tomorrow night and keep themselves in the tournament.
In the tournament?
Yeah.
The tournament will be running up until the 25th of April. So next week, Friday, would be the last day for the tournament. So come out, come and support throughout the week right here at Windhoek High School. As you can see there, Namibia has ball possession.
So tomorrow's game, Namibia versus Zimbabwe, that will be an interesting one.
That will definitely be a
that's one I'm
game
looking forward to.
To look out for, because the Zimbabwean girls are definitely a force to be reckoned with.
A great first game today, 8-1 win over Kenya? Zambia,
yeah. And they dominated that game.
They did, They did.
Definitely capitalize on the penalty corners. So Namibia will have to work on that if they play against Zimbabwe tomorrow, because one thing Zimbabwe did in their game was capitalize on those penalty corners.
And tomorrow's game is really playing for that second spot, like at least getting the second spot depending on what happens to SA. So end of the game, a great game, well umpired. The officials, compliments to the officials. The game was so well umpired and managed. I didn't even know the two of them were on the field.
You could hardly see them. It's always a good sight to see that the umpires are doing their job out of sight and they're holding the fort down.
Yeah, we had one card. Otherwise, they kept their cards in the pocket. And such a clean game, good spirited game. And congrats to Namibia. Good win to start the
kick-off of their tournament, as the host. See their great sportsmanship, players high-fiving each other as they get off the court. Stick around, we have another game. Namibian men versus the Egypt men. That's definitely one game to look out for.
Yeah, that's going to be a real humdinger. Both of them will be looking to get points, to try and take on the favourite South Africa, I think, and keep them at bay.
Yeah.
So, all right, so we're watching the highlights of the game. Namibia winning 3-0 versus Kenya. I thought the second half went a lot better for both teams. It sort of picked up the pace a little bit, and Namibia again just
dominated
the game in the circle. Just a game of lost opportunities for them.
And I will definitely have to give it to the Kenyan goalkeeper there, Nasambu Rebecca. She definitely held her own in her circle. Unfortunately, there's only so many saves you can make as a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So she definitely did what she could. As you can see there, a goal by Kruger.
I'm not putting you in a predicament. Man of the match?
Kenyan goalkeeper. For me, yeah.
That's being biased. Had to be a goalkeeper.
Had to be a goalkeeper. I always get goosebumps when I see somebody really commit. You see that great save, 2 saves.
Yeah.
And that's only so much you can do.
Yeah. I think from a contribution point, I think the Kenyan captain and the Kenyan goalie definitely would be on the list.
Yeah.
The Namibians were a very well-rounded side. I don't think there was really a standout today. A player that took the bull by the horns and made the most. They played a really good team game today.
Yeah, they complemented each other very well.
Yeah, I think one of the strikers could have got man of the match if they had put a few of those
just
chances.
a little bit.
Or our short corner
exactly
takers. But they played very well as a team today and did what they had to do. And
great game there for Kenya for their first international game, as mentioned by their team manager. So they definitely did really play well.
Yeah.
So on your screen there, you can see the statistics. You have Kenya and Namibia. Namibia leading 3-0. Shots, 20 shots on target from the Namibian side, and Kenya 2. Circum penetrations 24. Again, the statistics do not reflect the score, and that's something Namibia will have to work on. Possession 68-32, penalty corners 9, and only one of those penalty corners was a goal. Yeah. Namibia got 1 green card. Other than that, it was definitely a beautiful game, clean and straightforward.
So a really good picture in respect of Namibia's performance, but a bit concerning, I think, for the coaching staff. You know that when you have 20 shots on goal, you have 24 circle penalty, you have 68% of the game, 9 penalty corners, but only 3 goals.
Yeah.
I think the goal picture could have been a lot better, and let's hope it doesn't bite them, at the end of the tournament when it goes down to goal difference or something.
Definitely, unless they step it up tomorrow and
get some back, or really get a result against maybe South Africa or someone. But in a round robin, you need to look at putting the ball in the back of the net, and of course keeping a clean sheet as good as possible. But definitely a decent game today for both teams. It was a well-spirited game. The officials controlled the game so well today.
Yeah. So right there, day one's matches. South Africa was supposed to play against Uganda. Uganda did not make it in time this morning, so Uganda fortified the game. So they have lost points. South Africa got 5. Then we had the women's Zimbabwe dominating against Zambia 8-1, and then we had the very, very leveled game between the Zimbabwean men and the Kenyan men. There, definitely it was an intense game, and the game we just rounded off here, Namibia versus Kenya 3-0. Now we're getting ready for Egypt to take on Namibia at 5 o'clock. So definitely stay tuned and stick to your screens there at home. And we will be back
after the break
for the next game, and then at 7 o'clock we have South Africa versus Zambia. So we still have some great hockey to look forward to on day one's matches.
Yeah, so if you're at home and you have nothing better to do, and you want to have an exciting evening, I think you should get out and come watch the 2 decent games this afternoon still left on the cards. South Africa, Egypt, Namibia. I think it's going to be an interesting toss between those 3 men's teams who could top the pool at the end of the round robin.
Definitely.
And thank you, Pinky. It was an honor to be here. It was great, and I hope the viewers tune in for the games later on.
Thank you so much, Trev, and please enjoy.
Njupa is the 4th largest region, situated in the center of Namibia. The region is bordering Kavango West and East regions in the north, Kunene and Erongo in the west, Omaheke and Komas in the south, and Oshikoto region in the northwest. The region comprises 7 constituencies, namely Okahanja, Tumkwe, Omatako, Okakarara, Otavi, Grootfontein and Oshuarongo, which is the economic hub and administration center of the region. It has 5 local authorities and 9 settlement areas, which are under the administration of the regional council, namely Gam, Tumkwe, Kombat, Kalfeld, Okanjira, Koblenz, Okashoru, Okamatapati and Okonjatu. Osholonjuba Regional Council was established in terms of Section 2, Subsection 1 of the Regional Council Act No. 22 of 1992. It is further guided by a decentralization policy adopted by the National Assembly of the Republic of Namibia in 1997. Primarily, the objective